a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to the restricted section in which I, Christina Kahn, tell the Harry Potter franchise it's not me, it's you. If you haven't done the reading, don't worry, we did it for you. Here's what we're talking about this week. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, chapter 24, Sectumsempra, in which Harry almost kills a guy and then kisses his best friend's sister. I'm your host, Christina. With me today is a totally unsuspicious tiara, Charlie. Say hello to the listeners, Charlie.
Hello, I am a tiara wearing a beanie.
You know, wait, that's very funny. You know Charlie from The Bits and from Of the Eldest Gods and from every podcast they've ever guested on, which is very many.
I like podcasts.
Also with us today is Runel Waslib themselves.
Yeah, that's my nickname.
Robert! Woo! Say hello to the listeners, Robert.
Hello, listeners. It's been a while since I've been here. When's the last chapter I was on?
This last time we were together, I think.
Different book.
A different book.
Different book long ago.
Wait, it was the explanation Dumbledore chapter from last book.
Yes, I remember.
When
Robert?
Harry destroyed the office.
Oh yeah. Was that when y'all? Oh yeah. Because that's when the Bits launched. So that was in May.
Yeah.
Remember when we launched?
Good. Next episode of the Bits launching in August. Get it? Because we were on hiatus because of the strikes.
Yeah.
And we just now released our backlog, which was all recorded in like June.
It's like listening to like the backlog that people were releasing at the beginning of COVID. It's like, this is from the before times, isn't it?
Yeah. It was honestly probably the weirdest thing to have all my favorite podcasts go from normal to, well, I'm not touring anymore. I'm not doing any signings or anything because of COVID. COVID time.
Yeah. Yep. Charlie, you've been on for this book already. No.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
I saw that this book...
you came on for the Chaos episode
Yes,
with
I
Adele
did.
and Ethan. Okay, I remember now.
I had this book already downloaded on my iPad, so I'm like, I was on this season. What was it for?
We don't know. Robert, tell me, where does this book fall into your ranking of like all the books?
Not high up. I want to say like maybe 5th place.
Okay.
All right.
What's below it?
Order of the Phoenix is dead last, and then not a huge fan of Goblet of Fire.
Okay. It's too long, even though I find it fun. It is too long objectively.
Hey, you know,
That's cool.
Speaking about too long objectively, this chapter.
Well, great segue, but I'm actually going to stop it because I want to, for the first time ever, listeners, I'm going to remember to say something at the top of the show instead of the end of the show.
No way.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See? I fucking remembered. I know what time of year it is. I know what the date is. It's in between Christmas and New Year's. Are you in a daze right now, listener? Allow us to not help you at all with that.
I'm in a daze. I don't remember what day of the week it is.
What, Robert, for you, what does like this time of year look like? Do you travel? Do you get time off work? Are you like hustling to make that extra moolah? Like, what are we doing?
I get only Christmas Day and New Year's Day off. The other days I'm working.
Okay.
Shout out to machining.
Capitalism.
Shout out to capitalism. We love it. Don't we? Actually, we don't. We hate it.
The restricted section does not endorse this statement. Charlie, what about you? What do your holidays look like?
I also only get those days off. Yeah, because fucking daycares.
Yeah.
We're all year round. We don't get vacations, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Truly, it was the cruelest thing ever when we would have summer vacation as kids and that was taken away from us. It's like, nope, you have to work pretty much 90% of the year.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, on a lighter note, Yeah, I just vibe around. My husband and I both have divorced and remarried parents, and we just both get really stressed about this time of year. So we've thrown enough tantrums enough years in a row that people have kind of just stopped. We'll go see his dad's family because he lives near here. But everyone else, it's like, I'll catch you guys later.
Catch
So
you on the
you're-
flip side.
So your life isn't like that movie Four Christmases? You don't have to go to everybody's house at once?
I would rather die. We go to the one. It's a lot of fun. I like Sean's family a lot. But then on Christmas Day, Sean and I are going to be here playing Baldur's Gate and eating Chinese food.
As you should be.
That is what we're going to be doing. I asked him if he wanted to watch The Muppet A Christmas Carol with me because I read A Christmas Carol for the first time and I'm trying to
Good.
watch the Muppet adaptation. All right, well, let's get into the fucking chapter. It's Sectumsempra, baby.
Let's do it!
It's the culmination of all the gay undertones in this book. And so I brought on the gayest people I know in the world to help me figure out
so
what
glad.
exactly is the vibe here. What's the vibe check in this murder bathroom?
This is like the most bisexual chapter because,
I know, it's aggressively heterosexual too.
like, no, bisexual. Excuse you.
I know. It kind of makes me mad that the Sectumsempra scene and the kiss are in the same chapter because it's like the one like takes away from the other.
I was excited because I was like, wait a second. Oh my god, the Harry Ginny kisses in this because they're talking about Quidditch. That's
know.
right. Because I wanted to be on
Terrible.
for the Harry Ginny kiss too. Anyway.
Well, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, this must not be the chapter with that because there's only like 8 minutes left in this chapter and he's supposed to play a whole Quidditch game. We're not getting that done in 8 minutes. But then it was like he got detention and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's why this chapter.
Surprise, surprise. I'm going to have probably a controversial Snape take later.
Let's do it. Okay, let's start at the beginning. So
A very good place to
Harry's
start.
a very good place to start. Harry is telling Ron and Hermione about his last 2 chapters when he got the Horcrux memory and then went into the Horcrux memory.
Yay. Flashback.
It's Charms the next morning. Lavender is observed crying. She is observing them and she is observed crying.
Okay. Ron makes it snow. I'm still
stressed.
confused by how this works. Like,
Yeah.
does anyone know how he makes
No.
the snow from the ceiling from his emotions?
I guess.
Wait, Charlie, do you have a crown on your hat?
I do have a crown on my hat.
Wait, so it is like a tiara on your beanie?
Yeah, it is.
I didn't realize we were being for real. They have a tiara on their beanie. Okay.
It's because my beanie was you know the actress who plays Regina in Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
It's from her like line.
Lana Parrilla, right?
Yeah, Lana Parrilla. It's
So
from her like
spicy.
line of clothing that's like Evil Queen
What?
inspired.
That's so fun. Oh my god, I have to look
Go
into that.
check it out, bro.
I
Do
mean,
it.
her outfits are so fierce. Granted, they're like 2010 fierce, which is different, but they are really fierce.
I mean, her line of clothing is not quite the same. It's more just like, hey, look, it's the Evil Queen on some clothing.
What I'm saying is I would wear anything she told me to, probably.
That's true. That's true. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember this happening in the movie too, the making it snow, and I'm like, is this really that important?
Someone was like, whoa, what a fun detail.
The amount of things that you miss and you remember Ron made it snow with his emotions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Lavender broke up with Ron last night because he gave her no choice. He refused to do it himself, so she had to do it. Because he was treating her poorly. Because he wanted to break up with her.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Justice for Lavender.
isn't that great? You know?
No,
when
it's
a
not
guy's
great.
just
It's not great.
when a guy is like that. Yeah. Don't like
yeah, I
it.
hate it so much. But Ginny also broke up with Dean.
Oh.
The threads
I'm
are
gonna make
threading.
out with your sister. I'm gonna make out with your sister, oh friend.
Oh, I have a great joke I want to end the episode off on, so we're gonna wait till that.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
So Hermione's like, well, this really puts you in a pickle, doesn't it, Harry? And Harry Alba blurts, "Oh, because I want to fuck Ginny."
True, absolutely.
She's like, because of the Quidditch team. And he's like, oh,
Oh, right, Quidditch.
Quidditch. Yes, my first love. What will this do to my Quidditch team? But after Charms, they have a break and Katie is back. Katie Bell is back from the hospital.
You're not going to talk about she's Ron's sister. She's Ron's sister. Oh my god, it was just a funny part.
I remember.
He does.
I don't remember if it's the audiobook or if it's Daniel Radcliffe being like, she's Ron's sister or something like that. I think it might have been the
Radcliffe
audiobook.
did not do that.
I'm pretty sure it was the audiobook then. It was the audiobook narrator for like
Yeah.
an earlier chapter when Harry first started getting his crush.
I just remember like a piece of fan art where there's just like Harry like holding his head, going like she's Ron's sister, and then like
She's
a bunch of
Ron's
pictures of Ginny
sister.
being adorable, like
Oh, so
in
adorable.
his
It's
frustration.
amazing.
Is this the chapter where Harry's like, he's going to hit me?
I'm like, yeah,
I think he would.
we've seen that Harry can kind of take Ron in a fight because Ron did have like throw his tantrum when he was under the love potion, and Harry did like reflexively levicorpus him.
Oh, nice. But he was also like, to me, that felt so much like buckling your drunk friend into the Uber because they must go home. You have to
Fair.
stop now.
Yeah, love potion kind of does make you drunk, so there's a difference.
Drunk in love.
But Katie's back. How many months has she been gone? How
Like
many?
all of them. She's been gone for so long. She will never recover from this academically.
She's just coming back next year. Like,
She has
she does
to.
come back next year, but I guess she's somehow caught up on her schoolwork because no, she graduated. She comes back just to help out at the Battle of Hogwarts.
I don't know how on earth they could possibly let her graduate.
I have a Percy Jackson joke to make right now, but like Otag is nowhere near that spot.
Make it. Oh, I see. So, Dean, there's nothing messed up with the Quidditch team for now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because Katie is back, so Dean isn't on the team anymore. So Dean and Ginny being fighting or broken up won't fuck up the Quidditch team.
No, we just make Dean really, really upset.
Yo, justice for Lavender, justice for every Gryffindor who isn't one of us, one of
Yeah.
our trio. Because they get Faye Dunbar and Friend
My
don't
favorite
even
characters.
get referred to.
Faye Dunbar's friend, the best character in all of Harry Potter.
Justice for Faye Dunbar's friend. So Harry grills Katie a little bit about like what happened to her at the Three Broomsticks, and she remembers nothing until 2 weeks ago. That's very scary. That was a long time. She was out of it for months.
Damn. That is terrifying. Just a little bit.
No. So we get like a next couple weeks montage. Quidditch practice is going well. Ginny doesn't seem that sad about breaking up with Dean, and oh my god, we're thinking about her like so much.
I hate, and I love Hermione for this. I hate how Harry is like, maybe I'll just sip some of that Felix Felicis to try and get some luck. And Hermione's like, no, dumbass, it doesn't work that way. This is
It doesn't work that way, and I feel like on some level Hermione is like, she'll say she's interested. All you have to do is say what you need to say.
she's just right now being the genie from Aladdin, being like, tell her the truth.
Tell her the truth. Yeah, that's always
Yeah.
been like my method with getting partners, getting makeouts, getting dates, getting anything is like just really confidently just say how you feel. And like it's up to you to if they're like not interested, it's up to you to be like, oh, cool, okay.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that I found out later in life. I'm like, you'd be surprised how far you can get just by being confident and truthful.
Just ask. I've told so many people like I want to kiss you right now, and it's never failed. I'm gonna be seeing how many kisses I can get this New Year's. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'm coming for you, Richmond. Watch out.
Oh, damn.
Mwah, 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 mwah. That's what my cats. When my cats are like eating, they get kind of territorial, and so they'll be eating. They're like nom 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 nom. It's like growling at each other while they're eating. It's very silly.
Oh, my goodness.
Like my kissy noises. So Harry feels like if he doesn't ask Ginny out soon, someone else will because she's a fucking slag. And we love that for her.
She's a total hottie. We all know it.
She's a total hottie. So we're preparing for the final game of this season against Ravenclaw. And
There's
it
so
lays
much
some
Quidditch.
math on me
There's-
that I don't.
I
It's
hated
like
it.
if they win by this much, this will happen. If they win by this much, they have to win by
300
300
It's-
points in order to win the cup.
Which
Yeah.
I don't think
Fuck a sports.
any Quidditch match in this series has been more than like 100-ish point lead or whatever.
I mean, okay, so finally, like, you know, when you reread them, and I was like, okay, the fact that the amount of points they get, like, is cumulative, and that's how they determine
Yeah.
the winner of the cup, that does make sense to me. Why are you spouting math in this book to me, though? Like, I
Dude,
don't
I know.
care.
It's like Harry's just walking in the hall being like, well, the math is. He's like, I've known some people in my life who can't do math but can do drug math.
What the fuck?
I feel, it's like they can't do division, but if you ask them how many grams they can get with $100, they'll tell you. But I feel like Harry Potter is like that, but it's like Quidditch math only. Like he doesn't really have any skills, but he becomes suddenly a savant when it's Quidditch related.
That's all that matters.
It's
Sam.
just really funny. I also I keep loving and hating Harry being like, I walked past the hallway of the room of requirement every day, thinking every possible way to try and get in with no luck. I'm like, homie, you know how to access the room of requirement. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's because he's
trying to
trying to
find-
get into Draco's room specifically.
Yeah, he's
Which-
trying to entrap Draco.
Yeah, and then later on we find out it doesn't fucking matter. It just opens up and it's just the general room of requirement. Harry could have at some point been like, you know what? I need a room to put this pencil in. Boom, done. He finds the cabinet. Actually, he doesn't even recognize the cabinet.
Yeah,
I mean, it's there's a lot of things he doesn't recognize.
it
Harry.
was very specifically like, I didn't read the chapters before this, but I feel like he was using like, I'm trying to get into the room that Draco's in. Give me the room that Draco was in, you know?
Yeah, he's so obsessed with Draco, like he cannot.
And that's not what the room wants. It wants you to like, you know, have a different kind of need, like an actual need.
Yeah, its job is to like protect its users, I think, to some extent.
Yeah.
So it's not going to just be like, oh, Harry Potter, oh, the chosen one. Sorry, yeah, here's what Draco's doing.
Yeah, don't ask about like a room that somebody else is in. Ask for a room that you yourself need to access. That's
Yeah.
what it is. But the thing is, he doesn't know what Draco's doing in there, so he doesn't know what room he needs. And yeah, this is why Harry's not a Ravenclaw.
He's not a lot of things. This is the most un-Ravenclaw chapter. I mean,
It is.
Well, okay, well, we'll get there. So, a few days before the Quidditch match, Harry sees Malfoy on the Marauders map talking to Moaning Myrtle in the bathroom. So he goes to peep. He is a stalker. He's a peeping Tom. He's out here like ducking love potions, but he's also entrapping into love. He's like, I'm going to follow you down.
How do we feel about Moaning Myrtle and Draco's like friendship?
Bad. I feel like he's really mean to her.
I don't know. I don't really feel like it's a friendship. I just feel like it's, you know, you walk in on you're at a party, you walk to the bathroom and you see somebody vomiting in the toilet. Like that's the kind of vibe I'm getting.
I gotcha.
I mean, I have memories, like I said, I haven't reread this book, but I have memories that like Moaning Myrtle and Draco like just like hang out in the bathroom whenever he's like gets upset like this. And like that's like a thing that happens.
Yeah, I think it's been happening more than once because in a previous chapter she talked about a boy has been crying in the bathroom.
Yeah, something like that. So I don't know. They've been chatting a little bit. I don't know if it's necessarily a friendship, but like, you know, there's some kind of bond happening here because he's getting very emotional. And he's not usually emotional around other people.
Yeah, he's vulnerable with her.
But she's a ghost.
So Malfoy is crying in the bathroom to Moaning Myrtle about how his plan, whatever that
Ooh.
is, isn't working and he's going to be killed over it.
Oh no. Harry
Oh,
does not
no.
think about this whatsoever.
Harry's just like, what? In the door.
He never takes in this information at all in this chapter. He's just focused on like, I almost killed a guy.
Okay, right now we're about to enter what I call the fuck or fight quotient.
Yeah.
We also briefly forgot to mention that Harry was again defending his OC, the Half-Blood Prince. So it's not his OC, but he was defending it, and he noticed a spell tucked in the corner of one of the pages, Sectumsempra, use only for enemies.
He's been muddling this over for a while, and he's like, maybe I'll use this on Cormac McLagan, which I feel... Objectively, I feel that would have been a much better result because it still would have been really dramatic, but like he could have acted like he didn't do it. Like, I don't know, man. This is like such a bad situation.
Snape wouldn't have gotten nearly as upset about it as he did.
If it was McLagan. Snape's like, well, he deserved it.
He threw up on my shoes that one time. I don't really care about him.
Oh my God, that is a movie memory, but
I know.
It is an important part of McCormick's character.
It matters. It matters to me. Okay, that he threw up on his shoes.
Speaking of throwing up, they keep talking about how everyone is so nervous in this book about the Quidditch match that they keep barfing. I cannot with that.
Yeah, didn't that happen to like Ron several times in this chapter? I don't
barfs.
like it.
He like runs off to
Everyone's
barf, and I'm
barfing. It's weird.
Don't like it. Don't like
not,
thinking about it.
I don't want to be stressed enough that I'm barfing. Like, what on earth?
I have anxiety, and I'm not that stressed.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tina, when you were talking about how this scene is quintessentially fight or fuck, I swear I've read fanfics that are like, character A comes into the bathroom of character B, who's the antagonist, crying, and it either goes fuck or fight.
Yeah. Yep.
Always.
I mean, when you are vulnerable, when you're caught being vulnerable, those are your two choices. Because he's not just... First of all, this book is not going to have Malfoy just open up and to his colleague, to his co-peer, to his peer,
colleague,
and be like, here's how
colleague.
I'm feeling right now. Like, can we be friends? That's not going to happen. And also, the homoerotic undertones of this entire fucking book have been so thick. Like, this is the culmination of that. It almost makes me disappointed. I mean, I know that the Dumbledore Draco showdown is like very organized. Like, everyone's in on it. That happens exactly like it's supposed to. But I think that we miss a little something by not having a proper like Draco Harry showdown. We never get it.
I mean, this is it. The closest we get to a Draco Harry showdown.
And it's not I want them to fight it out. Like, I want them to fight it out. You know what I mean?
I have a problem with the magic system. Surprise, surprise.
Oh wow.
No way.
That's the first time anyone's ever mentioned that on this podcast. Robert, please elaborate.
I hate... So, I don't understand. So, Harry sends a Levicorpus hex, charm, spell, whatever the fuck the word is, to Draco. It misses... And I would imagine since nothing is connected, there is no corpus to levy, it shouldn't do anything. No, it explodes the sink or whatever. I'm like, how does magic work in this world again?
It's like in the movies where they just like point the wand and then it misses and it smashes something. That happens. It just point smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess,
That's
also
how it
like
works.
I don't know. I feel like there was some sort of continuity where it's like if you say the fancy word that's Latin and you point your wand in a certain way, you will perform a specific spell.
Yeah.
But I guess
You're
it's,
right.
Hey, if you do all those, but if you miss, it just turns into a generic little bang.
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It does. There does seem to be a logic to it to me, in that like you summon this energy. Where is it going if it misses a target? Misses what it was supposed to do.
I think we're talking about an inherent difference here. The roll to hit and the roll for damage. There's two essential differences here.
Yeah.
I think you bring up a really good point, Robert, with the fact that all of these spells are in Latin very transparently, and these Hogwarts students have access to Latin. And Harry's like, I wonder what this spell does.
Okay, tell us.
What does it mean? Sectum means sections.
Yeah.
Sectum into sections. You cut sectum. And then sempra. I'm just Googling this.
Sectum, a participle of the verb secco, to cut, and semper, meaning always or ever.
Always or constant. Yeah, so it's like forever cut.
Forever
so that
cut.
It's like if you had just opened, he probably didn't even have to open a Latin dictionary. He probably could have just asked Hermione what this spell is. She wouldn't have told him. She would have been like, I don't think you should do anything that guy tells you to do.
Fair.
But it's just that he had the resources to figure out what this was before just wantonly doing it on someone.
Yeah. Well, they never actually talk about the fact that the spells are in Latin. They're just like, yeah, they're spells.
They're spells. I listen.
So stupid.
I feel like we've all complained / talked about how, I guess, they get 10 years or like 4 years of schooling or whatever from like 7 to 11, and then Hogwarts is like, bye, you don't need math, you don't need science, you need astrology or astronomy, and you need charms.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. So we're not thinking about language at all, which is so weird. It would be really cool to have like a magic linguistics class, but I guess we're just not doing that.
The amount of essays they write and the fact that there is no like English course.
How does Ron know how to spell?
How?
That's
Literally how?
all Molly. That's all Molly.
Molly did their entire elementary education.
It's true.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Professor Flitwick does not go like, Wingardium Leviosa. It comes from the Latin words blah and blah. That feels like something you should teach a class full of students.
Yeah, to help them like understand the meat. It's the same reason that you study linguistics. It's like you can do the thing without understanding what you're doing, but God, you'll understand it on such a deeper level if you just figure out like what are these pieces that we're putting together.
It's true, but like I said, it's like we don't acknowledge in the universe that it comes from a real language. It's just like, it's magic talk.
So stupid.
Who cares?
Talk about where it's from. Malfoy looks up and sees Harry in the mirror. Here's something. Last week on Burn Before Reading, we were talking about Pride and Prejudice at length. And so my head has been in the land of Pride and Prejudice lately.
As it should.
And the tension between Harry and Malfoy is reminding me of the tension between Darcy and Lizzie when they're fighting. It's like so sharp.
Aww.
It's so sizzlingly hot. It's like you guys, neither one of you knows if you want to beat the shit out of each other or if you want to fuck till dawn. Like
both?
Neither one of you knows. It could go
both.
It could go both or either. Like we don't know.
Nobody knows.
Both.
Nobody knows. So Malfoy looks up and like connects eyes with Harry in the mirror. I think to me that's the most homoerotic moment.
And then Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On plays in the background.
Like literally, like walk up behind him, put your arms around him, tell him that he can tell you why he's crying. Say you're safe here.
Yeah, but they can't be vulnerable. They're men.
Yeah, Harry fucking sectums his Sempra really hard.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know what analogy I can make. There's something cooking in my brain, now it's gone. It's just like, oh, that's what it does, as Draco is bleeding on the floor.
Literally. So like I think that like we say that Harry's not he's not a Ravenclaw because like I feel like a Ravenclaw is like, well, let's try it out and see what it does.
Let's try it out on like a bag of flour.
Exactly. You have to know where the line is. You can't just go like experimenting on unwilling enemies.
But the spell says 4 enemies, so that's what you're supposed to do, according to the Half-Blood Prince. Harry,
Half-Blood Prince.
Don't blindly follow this man. I understand he's been helping you pass potions, but this isn't a potion.
No, it's not. Speaking of, you know who shows up abruptly? Well, first of all, Moaning Myrtle's like, Murder in the
Yeah, and
bathroom!
Malfoy's like spurting blood
You peeped.
everywhere.
You definitely
Yeah, I couldn't
peeped.
hear it.
It'll catch in the audacity. It's fine.
I still love that it's like in the same cadence as Troll in the Dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, blood all over the bathroom. Moaning Myrtle screaming all over the bathroom. Harry freezes. He's like, oh, no. And I feel like, okay, so if their eye contact in the mirror was the most homoerotic moment in this, I think the moment that Harry realizes that he has actually injured Draco Malfoy is the second most homoerotic moment, because he is like, I think the book does not say this. The book has him freeze. I think there is an implied instant regret here.
Yes.
He's like, I did not mean to injure you. I thought it was going to make your legs tickle or like something stupid, because he's a child.
I mean, who knows what he thought the curse was? He probably didn't think it was like the level of an unforgivable curse, which is what Draco was sending towards him, was
Yep.
a freaking unforgivable. So
A freaking unforgivable. It was a freaking unforgivable, guys.
but like, I feel like Sectumsempra could go on that list. Honestly,
should.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the unforgivable spells is it's like, okay, so if you do any of these three things, you go to prison. And if you do anything else, you're good. If you're a wizard and you murder someone with a knife, you're good.
That's what drives me wild. Because just to like fast forward through this a little bit, Snape comes, he heals Draco, takes Draco to the infirmary wing, comes back. He's like, Harry, what the fuck did you do? Harry's like, I didn't know what it was. Where did you learn that spell? And Harry's like, oh, I took occlumency last year. I'll just not think about the Half-Blood Prince book. Only thinks about the Half-Blood Prince book. And
He's
Snape
like,
can
I've
fucking
never
see
been
it.
good at this. I've never been good at this. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's like when you're trying to convince yourself you're good to do something even though you're plaster drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm not good.
I'm not good as I fall to the ground.
yeah.
So Snape takes Malfoy to the hospital wing, comes back. Harry just stands in the bathroom the whole time.
Because he's like, I'm too in shock to not obey this order. Because he
You know what
nearly
he doesn't
killed the
do?
guy.
You know what he doesn't do?
What?
Clean at all.
Would you? Would you?
Yes. Literally 100% yes.
I
Yeah,
feel
you
like-
know me, Charlie.
I
I
feel
would
like-
literally be cleaning.
I feel like a lot of the trauma would go away if I knew Draco was alive. I'm like, well, that was traumatic and stupid of me. This is not my
But he's good.
this is not my blood. Let me go get a Tide pen.
I mean, I feel like I would, like, it's a bathroom, just, like, wash my face in the sink, just to be like, oh my god, am I, like,
not-
alive? Am I okay?
Is Moaning Myrtle's bathroom not the bathroom? No, it was the prefix bathroom. Never mind. I was going to be like, there was a fancy bath that Cedric told him to take. I think the movie made it Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. here
No,
it's-
she just sneaks into that bathroom because Harry's in
Oh.
there
Right.
and naked
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
because she's a perv.
Because she's a perv.
And then Snape comes back. You know, he reads Harry's mind and he's like, okay, I want you to bring me your school bag and all your books. Harry runs. This, I think, he runs past so many people covered in water and blood. Everyone's like, hey, Harry, what the fuck?
You know what?
He's like, no time. There's no time.
Why is anyone at this school surprised at this point? The amount of times this boy is covered in blood. There's literally a joke about it, I think, in like...
In the beginning of this book.
Is it in the
Yeah.
beginning of this book? Okay.
It's when his nose gets stomped by Draco in the
For me, it's a movie
train.
memory because literally, like, that's what Ginny says. She's like, he's
Ginny
covered in
goes, why is
blood.
he always covered in blood?
Yeah, why is he always covered in blood? Like
he
seriously,
always
he's
covered in blood?
always covered in blood. Why are you people surprised?
By
It
the way,
blends in with
but
his robes.
I just wanted to get to this part because I think this is peak. There are many moments where Ron kind of proves to be kind of a shitty friend. This, I think, is the peak moment of Ron being like amongst others. This is like the peak joking moment kind of thing where Harry shows up covered in blood and water. He's like, I need your potions book. What happened? I need potions book. Okay, here you go. Later.
I would probably do the same. If you're covered in blood and you're like, I need this immediately, I will ask questions later. I guess I trust you.
Yeah, if Ron were a Ravenclaw, maybe he would have put two and two together and be like, Harry did something fucked up with his book. And he needs to, pretend he didn't have that book.
Yeah. Harry swaps the covers of their potion books. Is that right?
Yes.
Wait, how does that...
He just swaps like the outside. It's like the dust cover, pretty much. That's what he swaps.
The covers of them?
No, he doesn't swap. He does the before. I think I wrote it down now, but I don't think he swaps the covers because of the Runel Waslib joke. That's on the cover.
Yeah, I think he
that's
just
on the inside cover.
I thought he wholesale just.
That's called the title page. That's called the title page.
So then I guess Joanne does not know how books work, despite the fact she has written many of them at this point.
I think that Charlie, do you have the text in front of you?
Yeah, I have the text. I'm looking for what you're saying.
I never do.
The intention is to be like, oh, he replaced the dust covers. Like, that's what he did. That's what it's supposed to read like. What does it say?
I'm not seeing what you're talking about at all.
Oh, I got it.
You found it?
No, she's going to get the book.
Because I'm just seeing that Harry has the book. I'm not seeing anything about the covers.
Well, I'm on the case.
I don't think he takes off the cover.
Okay, I got it.
Where are you finding this?
Okay. I need your book. He pulled it out. Harry sprinted back to the common room. He grabbed his book.
And then he hides his book.
So he doesn't switch the covers. And that's why it says Runel Waslib.
Yeah. I mean, like, switching the covers... I mean, it makes sense in a pinch, but I don't think he
thinks that far.
No.
Well, okay, so then he goes to the room of requirement. He's like, I need a place to hide it. So it opens into the room of everything, full of 1,000 years of discarded shit.
Yeah, let's talk about all the things Harry walks past. There's so many things. Huh. Weird.
I think perhaps most noteworthy, Harry hides his book in a cupboard and then marks the spot with the diadem of Ravenclaw.
Well, that's not important at all.
If only he had a remotely good memory. If this were the movie, he would have been able to hear it.
We don't talk about this. We don't talk about that freaking thing, how we could just hear the
It would have been
white
great.
noise
Would have been great
of them.
if something like, I really struggle to think that she thought of anything further past the book she was writing. Like, allegedly, she was like planning this whole thing out, but no, I don't believe that. Because if she did, she would have dropped something.
Oh, the only reason I think she's planning stuff out at this point is because, like, one chapter ago, Dumbledore was like, it probably belonged to Ravenclaw. So I think she's like, ooh, I'm going to mention it in this book because I didn't do that for any of the other fucking books.
Yeah.
Really do be like
But
that.
who knows?
Now we're finally planning things. Like, as of the Horcrux being a thing, everything is planned.
Everything is planned.
Everything is planned.
So Harry runs back to the boys' bathroom where Snape is waiting. Tell me, Charlie, what do you think Snape has been doing this whole time? It's been like at least 10 minutes. What kind of body language and like mouth sounds has he been doing in this bathroom?
Snape. Severus Snape. I think that's what he's been doing.
All right. I'll buy it. Robert,
like,
what do you think?
With the like droppings like of like
Dumbledore.
every time the sink goes, you know?
Okay, that's good. Robert, what do you think Snape was doing while he was waiting in the bathroom? Do you think he took a shit? That's what I think. I think he had to
Honestly, maybe he'd be like, well, Potter is going to take a while. I might as well take advantage of the situation.
Do these toilets work? Do we know if these toilets actually work? This is Bonnie Birtle's bathroom.
Is it her bathroom?
This is going to sound like such a weird
it?
question. Did the kids use the bathroom in Chamber of Secrets?
No.
Okay.
Nobody used that bathroom because that was the one that she haunted.
Yeah, it's the one she haunted. It's not the one. Listen, I don't care if it's a haunted bathroom. If it's closer to me so that I can go to that bathroom and not be late to potions class, fantastic. I'll use it.
I'll use the haunted bathroom.
Robert,
Watch
it
me.
is also a girl's bathroom. Like,
oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part. Hey, that was a huge contention.
Would I want to use it?
That was a huge contention in Chamber C because I remember they're like, we can't go in that girl's room, and And it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
and Percy like catches them coming out of it or something.
right.
And he's like, oh no, I'm gonna tell on you.
Girls.
Ronald. What the fuck's the name from the book?
Runel Waslib.
Ronald Waslib.
Okay, so Harry's like, here's my book, and Snape examines it. He knows Harry's a fucking liar. This scene is very funny to me because
It's
they
beautiful.
both know. Harry knows he's a fucking liar.
And
Snape knows Harry knows he's a fucking liar. Harry knows that Snape knows that Harry knows he's a fucking liar.
It's just really funny because Snape's like, this is your book. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is your book. Yeah.
tell me otherwise.
Like-
This is the one you bought from Flourish and Bots. Yep. So why does it say Runel Waslib?
So fucking funny. I wish Motz was here because every time Motz logs into a Zoom call, his name is Runel Waslib.
I feel
This
like
And wait, okay, hold on.
yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
He says, why does it say Runel Waslib? Harry Potter, comedic genius. Deadpans, that's my nickname. Best joke in the series. Best callback in the series.
I love
it's
it.
so forever good. When I read
The
this for the
sauce.
first time, I was absolutely delighted.
But like, honestly, Harry, you probably could have been like, oh yeah, like I had one of those quills that fixes my spelling and it lost its magic when I was writing in this book, which is literally the truth of what happened
Yeah.
with Ron.
Yes. Yep. He could have done a lot of things. He didn't. Wait, there was one other thing that I was like, why didn't he do that? What was it? I don't know, man. There's other things he could have done. He doesn't. That's fine. Snape is livid.
As
And
should
he gives, I mean, yeah, you almost murdered another student because you're an idiot. Like, for the first time ever, Snape is allowed to be this angry.
Yeah.
be. Yes.
I need to say,
Say it.
the execution of the punishment, I think, is good, and I'll explain why in a second. I think the punishment is such just a slap on the wrist, which goes back to like, oh yeah, if you use one of the unforgivable curses, straight to Azkaban. You almost killed a kid by giving him a shit ton of lacerations on his body. Detention every Saturday.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I feel like it's both like a fucked up punishment and a not nearly fucked up enough punishment at the same time. Because
Yeah.
the punishment is Snape, head of Slytherin house, fucking with the Quidditch results. Like, those things just aren't related. And he shouldn't ruin it for like every other kid who plays on those teams. But at the same time, yes, by the logic of this world, send him straight to jail.
Right to jail, right away.
I mean, there's also the like, oh, I'm just gonna like give him some mental torture and show him all the crimes that his father committed while he was in school.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So he gets detention every Saturday until the end of term, including during the Quidditch match.
Listen, there's not much to Harry's character.
Quidditch is it.
Quidditch is like a good 60% of it. So I understand why he's like, but sir, Quidditch. And it's like, homie, you almost killed someone. You should be lucky it's just detention every Saturday.
Well, and Robert, like the whole rest of this chapter, Harry's like, great. Everyone knows that I almost killed Malfoy. Great. McGonagall yelled at me about me almost killing Malfoy. Great. Everybody's acting so weird about me almost killing this guy. And it's like, Harry Potter, do you regret? Like, do you feel remorse about this? Like, what are you doing?
Harry Potter, do you understand you almost killed a man?
Like, he's
Nope.
like, fuck Hermione, like, fuck. And you know what? Here's my least favorite part about this. Ginny defends Harry viciously because we need an inkling that she's attracted to him. But Ginny's like, shut the fuck up, Hermione. Like, it was a good thing Harry could defend himself. And Hermione's like, oh, but Quidditch. And Ginny is like, shut the fuck up about Quidditch. You're just going to embarrass yourself. And it's like so vicious and mean.
Yeah.
And for what? For what?
I mean, I'm mad at both of them because they're obnoxious teenagers in this fight. Like, Hermione has been harping on this for a while.
Yeah, now's
So,
not the time.
like-
But I was about to say now's not the time, but at the same time, like, if Harry is not expressing remorse, like, I don't know.
I don't think she needs to choose right now when Harry is, like, still, like, in shock about this situation to be like, huh, I was right.
I
Like,
just don't feel,
bro.
I just don't feel like he was in shock. Like, I feel like he's not shocked. I feel like he's like, what's the big deal?
I feel like he comes off that way, but he's not actually. Earlier in the chapter, he definitely seems more in shock.
The way that it's like, can you believe? It was like Harry had to endure 15 minutes of being yelled at by McGonagall. It's like, oh, did he have to endure that? Oh, I'm so sorry. That sounds horrible. Almost as horrible as getting lacerated all throughout your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off as defensive because it is Hermione, and she does, like, you know, come at him about these things a lot.
Definitely, that's why he comes off defensive with Hermione. But it's the
Yeah,
McGonagall
with
thing that really upsets
McGonagall,
me. It's like, you deserve for this woman to scream in your
No,
face.
he deserves McGonagall,
You
absolutely.
deserve to go to jail.
Right away.
You almost killed someone.
Bro.
I guess attempted murder is not a charge recognized in the wizard legal system.
No, it's not.
It's not an unbreakable vow.
Do they even
what
have
is it?
lawyers?
It's not. It's
Do
not
they
unforgivable
even
curse.
have lawyers in this world?
I mean,
Oh my
Harry
God,
had to
wait.
represent himself until Dumbledore came in last
Oh
minute.
my God, you were so fucking right, Robert. And I know that was a hearing and not like a full court case, but I don't, as Christina in my world, I don't really understand the difference. I think you would probably be able to have a lawyer at either one. I want to see the workplace comedy, like You Better Call Saul, but he's magic. And I've definitely seen some very funny TikToks of people pretending to be the lawyers, like Dumbledore's lawyers. And it's like, oh, this is a nightmare.
I've come to the conclusion there are no such lawyers in the wizarding world.
Can't
Crime is rampant.
So it's Quidditch Day. Quidditch Day. You know what we haven't been mentioning so far in this chapter? Like the 6 or 7 times that it mentions the beast in Harry's chest awakening.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that beast. We don't talk about Bruno.
Nope. It is
It's
It
just
was like
I'm
the
good.
beast in his chest was hopeful. And it's like, you mean
Hopeful.
yourself and your heart and your penis?
you-
Those
yeah,
are
I
the
mean,
things that will hopeful.
It's his penis. It's
I'm like-
absolutely that.
You know, in all the talk of the wizarding things, I think there's also no sex ed in the wizarding world,
Hard no.
None.
Hard
LOL
no.
hard.
which
LOL
is
hard.
funny. So yeah,
But
everyone's headed
no
off the
way in
Quidditch,
hell.
but Harry has to go serve his detentions, which is so rough. Such a rough punishment considering
Yeah,
he
that's
almost
rough,
killed
buddy.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the detention where he hears about James and Sirius casting hexes on people.
So here's what I want to say. This is, in a weird way, probably my favorite, like a good Snape scene, really, maybe kind of in terms of him being a teacher and someone who has to discipline. Because if these were two different characters, but in the same setting, in the magical world, if it was like, hey, you really hurt someone with a hex, your detention is to sort through all the times your father and his friends hurt other people with hexes, I think that's an effective punishment.
That tracks.
If Snape hadn't already been like this person in the past who's constantly like, oh my god, you're like your asshole father.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if he wasn't
I
that
think
person,
the context fucks it up more.
it does.
But
Yeah.
I agree with you, Robert. I think that's a good punishment.
Absolutely.
It is also like the dad in question is deceased. So like,
Yeah.
I think that adds like another layer of like, well, let's probably not do this, because then
Mm-hmm.
you would probably just, instead of when your dad fucked up, you could just write these other files of when these other people you don't know fucked up.
Exactly. I think it's good execution, just like wrong people to execute it.
Yeah. Another thing about his punishment here is like Harry walks into the room and sees like the little note card boxes or whatever. And he's like, those boxes reek of busy work and bullshit. And it's like, you are serving detention. Of course they're bullshit.
And
What?
busy-
You're bullshit.
you
What
know
other
what would,
detention would you do?
you know what would be worse bullshit and busy work? Prison.
Believe it or not, jail.
Harrius Potterus.
Harry, I bet you're really like wishing you had Lockhart back and to just like answer his fan mail. Right? No?
Yeah, for real. Remember how much he hated that detention too?
I cannot imagine. I think even Joanne would not be able to think it'd be good writing for Harry to be bitching and moaning about answering Lockhart's fan mail as detention for almost killing someone.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
He knows that the Quidditch game is going on at the same time, but he's imprisoned in this detention.
Also, I just realized that there's this is Ginny versus Cho in this Quidditch game.
It's Ginny versus Cho, which
Are we not going to talk about that?
it's just way too. I think it's way too heavy-handed of Joanne. I think she was like, "Ooh, what if Ginny defeats Cho and earns her rightful place as the Chosen One's partner?"
Yeah, it's... You know what? It would have been cringe, but if it was actually written out, instead of us just gathering this from context of who we know the Ravenclaw Seeker is, I would try and make an argument for oh, good job, Joanne. You did a literacy.
What if
If Ginny had gone up and been like, "Good game," and we had seen Cho be like, "Good game," and she was satisfied, and they maybe winked at each other, and Ginny got to have closure on that front before being assaulted publicly by Harry Potter. Okay, so listen, guys. Listen, I'm just going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Potter goes to the common room.
Mm-hmm.
They're celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
Gryffindor won against all odds. Ginny runs at him, at Harry Potter. Wait, hold on. It's a quote from last week's Burn Before Reading. The quote from Pride and Prejudice is, he considered sufficient encouragement. So Ginny runs at Harry. This he considered sufficient encouragement. He kisses her in front of everyone they know, including her brother, including his very recent ex, without knowing if it's reciprocated. He puts her on the spot in front of everyone they know, including a couple people who are guaranteed to not be cool with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. I thought she kissed him.
No, he kisses her.
Until I
so
reread this
stupidly.
for this recording, I thought she ran up to him and grabbed his face, kissed him.
No,
that's how it happened.
The way it's written, she's running up for a hug or something, or a fist bump, woo, yeah, I won the game.
She's running up for a fist bump, but the book, this is the thing, is the book says she has a blazing look in her eye. And Harry is she wants to fuck me. And it's just not true. Women be blazing.
Women be blazing. 420.
Dean Thomas breaks a glass, and I don't blame him. They broke up yesterday.
Yeah,
they did.
absolutely.
But
Harry should never have done this. Harry should have fucking spoken to Ron and Dean before this action. I firmly feel.
Absolutely. Well, maybe not Dean, because fuck Dean, who cares? But
but the thing is that okay, I've been in this pinch before, Robert, where I'm you owe this person this thing, and the other person's no, I don't. And I do have a very broad definition of the word friendship, and I feel very obligated to a lot of people. So I could never, I don't think, but also at this age I was a huge slut, so I just feel my instinct is if that person, you're on good terms with them, you live in the same room as them, maybe even.
Were they on good terms? Was the breakup not
No, I'm talking about Dean and Harry. Dean and Harry, they're friends. They live in the same room. Why not be friends with that person? They owe each other respect. Yeah. And I don't think that was a respectful move from Harry, because he's hey, everyone, you know how Dean got dumped? Not me. I'm so confident I'm gonna kiss her in front of God and everybody.
I am going to make a terrible joke, but then with the context of the scene afterwards, I don't feel as terrible about making the joke. He looks around, everyone, people are whooping, Dean breaks a glass, Hermione's beaming, he looks at Ron, and Ron just gives the nod.
No.
We all know what the nod means. The nod just means might as well.
Go ahead, fuck my sister, I guess.
Go ahead, fuck my sister.
Wrap it before you tap it. And then the narrative is oh yeah, I'm going to leave and we're going to find a classroom.
They left.
And maybe, just maybe, we'll talk about the game. I'm are you guys going to fuck in a classroom?
They're going to fuck in a classroom
Highly
right
recommend
now.
One of the empty classrooms, There's There's
They're
a lot.
everywhere.
Highly recommend. I've done it before. It's great.
The room of requirement.
I require a sex dungeon.
I require I require a bed that's good for my back afterwards.
That
Okay,
too.
so Robert, if you are at a party with everyone you know,
Yeah.
and the person that you maybe don't have a full crush on them, but you know, you're not like against it.
Right.
Everyone's looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And they come at you and grab you for kissing without everyone's looking at you. Like, how are you feeling about that? Like, you as an individual, because everyone would handle this differently.
I mean, me as an individual, I'd be like, I mean, I want this, but also maybe in a private setting. I'm like, I can't say that. I've been very
Naughty.
no, listen, I haven't had
Robert
a
is
partner
naughty.
in 6 years, so I had to like learn again how to take like kissing and not just make it blatant PDA that's going to make everyone uncomfortable.
Aw.
That's
which is-
cute.
It's like riding a bike.
It's like riding a bike. You never forget.
Subtle PDA is like riding a bike.
Subtle PDA is like right, yeah, and I think we've reached a point now where I'm like, subtle, we did it. But like in the heat of the moment, if like I know I like this person and they kiss me in the middle of a like crowded ass party, I'm gonna be like, sure, yeah, but like, can we leave to talk about what this is gonna be first?
Okay. Charlie, what about you?
Yeah, I feel like there is something to the heat of the moment that I'd be like, okay, yes. But like I'm not a constant PDA type of person unless it's I'm a hugger. You know I'm a hugger. But like
Yeah, I feel
a
like
constant making out, kissing PDA.
Well, but I'm not talking about that. This is like one blazing kiss.
One blazing kiss. Depends how long it is. Okay? If we're in front of everybody, maybe don't make it like a 5-minute makeout session. You know?
If we named our episode titles like Cabs did, the name of this one would definitely be One Blazing Kiss.
It's terrible.
So I am a huge slut,
Really? No way.
and I'm a huge slut for attention. So I'd be all
No
over this.
way.
If when the whooping starts, I go harder. I put tongue. Like I'm all over this. Especially at this age, kiss me in front of everyone. Claim me.
So what I'm hearing is that you know, woo, yeah, tin, woo, woo, hands above clothing, please.
Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is like, Ron is like, sure. I think that this is supposed to read as character development, but I read it as a break of character. I don't think this is in character for him.
I would say it's character development if at any point Ron did ever express like, oh, Harry, I'd be pissed if you dated my sister. And then, like, slowly throughout the book, he gets more warmed up to the idea until this finally happens. He's like, you know what, Harry? You're a good man. Date my sister.
Character development would have to be Ron before this being like, you know, I kind of think Ginny has a crush on you. And I kind of think you have a crush on Ginny.
You got my blessing, bro.
And
Thanks,
I just
bro.
want you to know, yeah, that you should do this. But like this, Ron is first of all like put on the spot. And I don't believe that his gut reaction when put on the spot is to be like, sure. Especially when he just broke up with Lavender. I know he was like desperate to escape it, but like that still doesn't feel good. He's not getting no snogging and he's trying to see Harry snogging his sister all over the place. Like I just don't buy it for this character.
I definitely think Ron would have punched him. Like
I think so,
actual
too.
Ron in this
think
moment.
Ron would have been the one to break the glass. Dean Thomas just slinks into the shadows.
Dean and Ron get together. They, like, one holds Harry's arms behind his back. The other one starts punching him.
Aw. That's cute. And then they fall in love.
Excuse me, Dean and Seamus.
Okay.
Wow.
There's a lot to go around. So that's the end of the chapter, Robert. Is there anything that we didn't get to talk about that you wish we had, or any final thoughts?
I mean, I briefly mentioned at the beginning, this is such an obnoxiously long chapter. It could have been broken up into 3 chapters.
Did you read it with your eyes or your ears?
With my ears.
Yeah, so did all of us. It was shorter than most chapters in this book. I'll tell you
Which
what.
is fucking wild. I heard it because, I don't support Joanne, so I found one of them nifty little YouTube audiobooks.
Yeah,
and
do it.
You can hear the guy reading and stopping and being like, oh, time to turn to the next page. And he's like preparing himself to be like, oh, chapter 26 or whatever. No, we're still in Sectumsempra.
Yeah, it does go on long after the gay fight in the bathroom. Unfortunately, it takes us straight back into good old straight white people in love.
Yeah.
Wow, the silence is heavy in this group. Charlie, what do you have any last words about this, Charlie? Like any final thoughts?
There are so many thoughts rushing through my brain in this chapter. There's just so much in this chapter.
No.
Why? Why are there so many things in this chapter all at once?
I know. Well, tell me, what do you think about Harry and Ginny? Like, are you a shipper? Are you a stan?
I am a Harry and Ginny shipper. I'm not gonna say this chapter is like
That's the reason, this chapter.
It's not my favorite reason. I remember liking this moment more. Maybe I will blame it once again on the fan art. Honestly,
or like when you read it for the first time, I feel like you're like, oh my god, is it really gonna happen? It does. It always happens.
I mean, listen. I was a Hinny shipper since I saw Chamber of Secrets as a small child. I was like, oh my god, Hermione and Ron are gonna get together, and Harry and Ginny are gonna get together. And then I saw the fourth movie, and I'm like, why is Harry getting with someone else? Why is Ginny getting with someone else? What is happening? Because ship.
That's love, baby.
And I was a small child, but I was like so into them.
They had to
together.
earn each other. They had to earn each other.
This chapter, rereading it, not my favorite of the Hinny moments.
I hate the name. I hate the ship name Hinny.
I do too.
It's terrible.
It reminds me of like something like Aunt Fanny. You know what I mean? Robert, what do you think of the Harry Ginny ship? Are you a shipper?
Book wise, I think it's built enough that I have no problem with it. Movie wise, comes the fuck out of nowhere.
We don't have time for the movie. Yeah. Like it's so bad.
You'll get to the movie.
I think that's
going
to be the whole movie episode. Whole movie episode, we're going to be talking about the negative chemistry between Daniel Radcliffe and Bonnie Wright, and the scene where they set the burrow on fire. That's the only things we're talking about in the movie episode.
That's all that happened in the movie.
I totally agree, Robert. Like, I think that given the evidence in these books, I have no problem with the pairing. Definitely better for him than Cho Chang, because, like, some men are not great at, like, anticipating your needs, smothering you in love, making you feel like beautiful and strong. And so like, and that's like valid. That's like a really valid kind of person to be. You need a partner who is really good at giving themselves those things, you know?
Right.
Like Sean's not the best complimenter I've ever met in the world, but like, I'm pretty confident. So it's like, I'm kind of good without it, but some people would really need that. And so Cho Chang, she needs reassurance. Well, that's the end of the chapter. Let's move on to plugs.
Woo woo.
Oh, damn.
Robert, why don't you tell the listeners about y'all's podcast?
Oh, yeah. Hi. So it's so weird to talk about it because I haven't had to talk about it in almost 4 months, but
we have a podcast?
Is it about?
We have a podcast. Yeah, it's called The Bits.
Oh my God.
This one and we look at the Cartoon Network television show Steven Universe and go through episode by episode, discussing and analyzing pretty much everything we see. We go over some of the fun facts. We have a trivia section. We have, when we meet a new gem, we have a gem section that Charlie is super good at.
I'm so great at talking about science things. I know science. No, I don't.
You're just the dog in the lab coat and like surrounded by chemicals. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Me. Yeah, we talk about a goofy, silly cartoon
rocks.
That's really gay.
No, Charlie, we talk about gay space rocks.
We do. We talk about gay space rocks.
Robert, do you want to plug your own socials or any of your other podcasts?
I do too much, which is funny because I'm about to do
Robert,
more next year.
Robert, you're famous now, okay?
Oh,
you're
yeah,
famous.
That's a big thing, sure. How am I famous? What do you mean?
You're famous. You went to the Percy Jackson premiere
Yeah.
in New York City?
In New York City at the Met. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. What do I do? If you want to follow me on the internet talking about Percy Jackson stuff, surprise, it's going to be all I'm talking about for the next 2 months as the show is out. Forever. Yeah, you can follow me at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, soon to be YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good
And
shit.
what's something that you've been watching or reading or listening to or playing, I guess other than the Percy Jackson release, that you would like to plug to our listeners?
The Amazing Race. I've been watching that with my family for some reason,
Okay.
and I haven't watched The Amazing Race since like 2012, but it's
Yeah, really.
very interesting. Very, very fun. I like watching it. I just saw a season finale. I don't know where we're up to, but I saw a season finale and I was shocked at who won.
Okay. Hell yeah. Thanks for the rec.
Woo.
Charlie, why don't you tell the people about your other podcast?
My other podcast where I talk about Percy Jackson, but it's
That's the
not
one.
technically with Robert, although Robert sometimes appears.
They have appeared,
I have appeared.
much like a Pokemon.
Robert
is a
has
Pokemon.
appeared.
Robert
which
is Detective Pikachu, as we all know.
Yeah, kind of.
My other podcast is Of the Oldest Gods, where, hey, we're going to be talking about the Percy Jackson TV show.
There's
If
a
you
Percy
Yeah.
Jackson TV show?
understand that, like,
Does your first episode about the TV show come out tomorrow?
no. We are moving to Sunday release.
Oh, shit.
During this time of the TV show coming out, just because, you know, the turnaround time of Wednesday to Thursday is a lot when you have a job, a full-time job.
Sure.
Yeah.
Understandable. Well, I'm really excited about that.
Woo.
And what is something that you've been watching, reading, playing, listening to lately you think the listeners would enjoy?
You're not even gonna let me plug myself on the internet?
Oh, sorry. Plug it.
Wow. I'm offended.
Charlie, are you just going to say Baldur's Gate?
Maybe. I'm Green Pixie 12 most places on the internet. I also have a drawing Instagram at Green Pixie Draws. Yeah, maybe I want to plug Baldur's Gate, which I've been trying to sync on Steam this entire time that we've been recording. Guys, I
It's
just
a really good game.
I've been doing nothing else but playing Baldur's Gate, but soon the hyperfixation is going to swap to only Percy Jackson. That's it. Nothing else.
Hell yeah. I'm excited.
I'm gonna be rewatching every episode like multiple times.
Hell yeah.
We are going to single-handedly guarantee a season 2.
Yes.
I've been your host, Christina. You know where to find me. And this week I'm going to plug the game, this indie game that I can't remember if Zach told, I think he did. I think Zach told me about it, but it's called Unpacking. And if you've had like a stressful holiday and if you want to start the new year, like feeling like organized and kind of zened out, Unpacking is like a very zen vibey game. I played it on Switch. You can probably play it on other stuff, but I highly recommend it.
Heck yeah.
Robert, Charlie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us for the gayest episode.
Woo, gayest episode.
Best episode.
You know,
It's not that gay. It's not that gay, is it?
but they had
Could
a
be lot
wand
gayer.
fight in the
They did have a wand
bathroom.
fight. Okay, I stand corrected.
It's pretty fucking gay.
And to the listeners, please have a very happy and safe new year, and we'll see you next year.
Bum, bum.
Oh. That's it, potheads. Thanks for listening to the restricted section. This podcast is produced and hosted by me, Christina Kahn. Our theme music was produced by Ryan Kahn. Our logo was designed by Michael Hardison. Please connect with us on Twitter at RestrictedPod, on Instagram at RestrictedSectionPod, on Facebook at RestrictedSectionPod, or in our Facebook group, The Restricted Section Detention Crew. Join our Patreon to get access to our Discord server, our bonus episodes, and other cool perks. We're also very happy to be a member of Deus Ex Media, where all you fucking nerds can find all kinds of fandom podcasts to suit your fancy. I'm Christina Kahn.
And I'm Leela Hilton,
And this is Burn Before Reading,
the podcast about shiterature.
We're here to examine the terrible writing we did when we were younger.
Like that school project you were really proud of.
Or that poem you wrote when you got dumped.
Well, how about that apology letter you wrote to your mom when you got into that fight?
Or the song you recorded before you knew how to write music.
Okay, don't at me. And we're here to talk about other cringy literary topics along the way.
Like the Library of Alexandria.
And Dewey Decimal.
His name was Melville Dewey.
Oh, well, do we want to get the clips rolling?
I don't think I ever recovered from this in terms of being cool.
Why did I say any of this?
I do like the drama.
So there is actually quite a bit to unpack here.
Oh, all this drama was so addictive as a teenager.
There's no punctuation to it. I'll start with that.
I actually have no memory of this.
There were so many lies that I was telling it.
It's not terrible.
No one really taught me how to write a good short story.
That was a journey.
Listen to Burn Before Reading
Every Wednesday, wherever pods are cast.
All right, let's see. Hello, is that me? Yes, it is. Can I turn up the gain a little bit so I'm consistently green? Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. How do
I
I
love
sound?
your dulcet tones.
I love your dulcet tones.
Dave X Media.